You ever wonder what happens after a big scientific breakthrough? Like, we all heard about sequencing the human genome, right? But the real story, the one that's changing everything, is the insane data revolution that came next. So today, we're going to dive into the world of biotechnology information systems. We're talking about how we're making sense of the actual code of life.
All right, so to kick things off, you've got to understand just how huge this problem is. I mean, modern biology, it's not just making discoveries anymore. It's creating an amount of information that's, well, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. It's a total data deluge.
Just think about this for a second. Mapping one human genome used to take more than a decade and billions of dollars. Now, we can do it in a few hours. That insane speed has created this gigantic ocean of information. So that leaves us with a massive question. What do we do with all that data? Where's it go? And how in the world do we start to make sense of it?
So this image, it's basically showing you that data explosion we're talking about. A tidal wave of genetic and biological info. Now imagine trying to sort through all that by hand. It'd be like trying to read every single book in the biggest library on Earth all at the same time. And with no card catalog, it's not possible for a human to do.
And that's where our hero comes into the story. To solve this massive biological data problem, scientists had to look somewhere totally different. And what they found was this incredibly powerful partnership, the fusion of biology and computer science. And out of that fusion, we got the Biotechnology information system. The best way to think about it? It's like the ultimate digital librarian for the book of life. Its whole job is to take all that messy biological data, get it organized, and then analyze it, turning raw info into actual discoveries that speed up research and lead to some seriously cool innovations.
Now, obviously something this powerful didn't just pop up overnight. It's got a pretty wild history, and it's been evolving at a crazy fast pace for the last 50 years. So let's take a quick look at how we got here.
You know, what's really mind-blowing when you look at this timeline is just how fast everything sped up. Back in the 70s, it was really just an idea. Then, boom, the Human Genome Project in the 90s made it clear we needed massive databases. And those popped up in the 2000s. The 2010s, that was the big data revolution. And now, here in the 2020s, we're deep in the age of AI. We're using machines to spot patterns that are totally invisible to us. Think about it. Finding one tiny genetic marker that's different in patients with a certain disease out of literally billions of other data points. It's incredible. Okay, so that's the science, and it's super interesting. But let's get to the real question, the one that actually matters. So what, right? How does any of this complicated data stuff actually affect you and your life? Well, the answers are probably closer to home than you think.
Okay, first up, healthcare. These systems are basically the engine driving personalized medicine. So instead of that old one-size-fits-all approach to medicine, doctors can now look at your specific genetic code and design treatments made just for you. And that means you get medicine that works better and, big plus, has way fewer side effects.
And it's not just our health, it's our food too. By digging into the genetics of plants, scientists can create crops that give us more food and are way tougher against things like pests and drought. And look, this isn't just some science fair project. This is about building a stronger, more reliable food supply for everyone on the planet. The impact even reaches the health of the planet itself. You can think of these systems as environmental detectives. Seriously, by analyzing tiny bits of DNA from, say, a scoop of soil or a bottle of water, scientists can get a full picture of all the life in an ecosystem. This gives us the power to make much smarter choices when it comes to conservation and really helps protect endangered species. So, what's the magic behind all this? What are the powerhouse tools making it happen? Well, it really comes down to two big things. First, advanced analytics. Just imagine a search engine on steroids that can comb through billions of genetic data points to find that one tiny pattern that could be the next big medical breakthrough. And the second piece of the puzzle is cloud technology. This gives us the massive, basically infinite storage space we need. But maybe even more importantly, it lets scientists from all over the world work together on the same giant datasets at the same time.
But, the story's not finished, not by a long shot. As amazing as all this is, the path forward has some pretty big roadblocks. And the science community has to figure out how to get past them if we want to unlock the next generation of discoveries.
And this table here kind of breaks down the biggest challenges. You've got tricky regulations to navigate. Then there's the problem of data standards, or the lack of them. This is a huge one, because it means one lab's data might be totally incompatible with another's, and that just grinds collaboration to a halt. Of course, there's always the struggle for funding.
And then, maybe the biggest hurdle of all is a skills gap. There just aren't enough experts out there who can speak both biology and computer science fluently.
So that brings us to the end. The big takeaway here is that we're living in a time where AI is starting to read the secrets of life itself. The potential is, well, it's pretty much limitless. So I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. With all this power at our fingertips, what's the one discovery you're hoping we make next?